Welcome. In this video, you'll learn how to improve your next hybrid meeting. By the end of this video, you have at least one quick and easy way to improve your next hybrid. You'll learn the first thing that you'll need to say to improve your next hybrid and why. You'll gain insight to the one change you can make to your Q&A to make your hybrid even better. And I'll share a story about how using these tips helped create the highest ratings for a hybrid for this company. So let's begin. The first tip is to train your speakers. Hybrid is different than speaking whether in person or virtual. So with these quick tips, make sure and take the time to talk to all of your speakers before your next hybrid presentations. These small speaking tips will really help your next hybrid meeting. Is to acknowledge virtual. Make sure that your speaker or MC, that the first thing that they say is thank you and welcome to our virtual audience. By acknowledging your virtual audience first, you make sure that the virtual audience knows that they are there and that they're being considered inside of this meeting. When possible, make sure and share their names and share the locations they might be logging in from. Just by saying the names and the locations that they're from will help make those virtual attendees appear real to the in-person audience as well as the virtual audience. When you forget this tip, you send the first signal to your virtual audience that they're second-class citizens, that maybe you forgot about them, or you don't even know that they're there. So prevent them from feeling like second-class citizens, make them feel like they're first class. All you have to do is acknowledge them. Now here's the tip to improve your Q&A inside of your next hybrid. Take your first question from virtual. By taking your first question from virtual, it reduces the odds that you'll forget. It will also show that you're giving preference to the virtual audience, which is often forgotten. Even if they don't have any questions, you can say, well, it doesn't look like there's any questions from virtual. Now let's go to the in-person audience. Again, that small signal will tell that you are considering the virtual audience all through this program and that they have equal weighting with the in-person audience. By taking your first question from virtual, it also shows that you value that virtual audience. It also shows that their questions are being answered, that their voices are being heard. Hey, if I've even given you one tip that's made your hybrid better already, do us a favor and hit subscribe so you can get more of these tips, and ring the bell so you get alerts for all of the next videos that come up on this channel. This next tip is to get your speakers to repeat what the in-person audience says or wait for them to get a mic. Often we coach our speakers to let the audience know and saying, so our virtual audience can hear, please wait until you get a microphone to ask your question. If they have quick exercises like one-word answers, then train them about how to repeat the answers. Let's just say you ask the audience, when I say the word engagement, what do you think? Let's say your audience says attention. You just repeat the word attention. Just by repeating the word, make sure that your virtual audience can hear them without having to wait for them to get a microphone. If you do have microphones, my best suggestion too is to have two of them. You want to have one microphone for the in-person attendee who's having to ask a question, and have the second microphone look and see if there's another person inside of the room that has a second question behind it. The reason for doing this is that you can minimize the time of having someone walk back and forth inside of a room, waiting for a microphone before they can ask the question. This will help not only the in-person audience, but the virtual audience, and will show that you are maximizing the time in this presentation. The last tip is to make sure your speaker has really designed their exercises or anything they want to do during the presentation to make sure it's going to work for the in-person audience and the virtual audience. Things like breakout exercises, just knowing that if they're going to work at the table, what size breakout rooms they also want on virtual. If the speaker has a handout, make sure there's a way that the in-person audience and the virtual can get the audience. If your speaker has a handout and it's printed them out for the in-person audience, make sure you'll have a link to a virtual one that you can share with your virtual audience. That way they can both have the handouts at the exact same time. There are a lot of programs where they thought of the in-person audience, but forgot how they're going to get it to that virtual audience, and sometimes didn't get that handout to them. Again, that's another way to signal to the virtual that you haven't thought about them. They might feel like a second-class citizen. Every time you think about these things ahead of time, you can take care of both audiences at the same time. So in one conference for a company in Seattle that was a pharmaceutical company, we used all of these tips. We made sure every speaker acknowledged virtual. Then they took the first question from virtual. They made sure to repeat things said by the in-person audience or wait for a microphone. By using all of these tips inside of the hybrid, they were able to get attendee scores that were the highest rating of any hybrid meeting that they had had to date. If this video has been helpful and you want to take your hybrids further, then I have a gift for you. Normally, I have a masterclass that people pay $100 or more, but in this case, I'm going to give it to you for free. When you attend the 6 ways for more engaging hybrid meetings masterclass, you're going to find even more ways here to engage with people, make your hybrids valuable, and maybe hear those magical words, "This is the best hybrid ever." Make sure and click the link in the description to get your masterclass today.